next to me. I have all of my slides on the kinderkidatheart.com, which is my website. Once you get there, you're going to click the blog and then scroll down to Googlepalooza. I have all of the information there that you'll be learning about today. And then I also have kind of step-by-step directions. I know a few people yesterday were saying that I was going a little bit too fast. I only went out, so I want to make sure to get you as much information as I possibly can. So we're going to start there. So welcome. We are using a virtual Bitmoji classroom to organize and engage students. So at the end of school last year, I was dabbling in a virtual Bitmoji classroom, and I've learned a lot over the summer as well. So I'm going to show you kind of my old version and my new version and some awesome things you can do with virtual Bitmoji classrooms and some really fun things that you can have students do as well. So I am going to get started. Again, here, if you would like my presentation, please visit my website, kinderkidatheart.com. Then you're going to click on blog and scroll down so you can find the Googlepalooza. This presentation and then all the additional things will be there as well. Please email me if you have any questions, and that is actually going to be on this next slide. So meet the teacher. So my name is Miss Friedel, Katie. I am a kindergarten teacher. I've been teaching for 12 years. This is my upcoming lucky number 13 school year. Can't wait. If you would like to email me, you can literally just click the link right on the presentation and I'll bring you to my email address. So you can email me and ask me any questions. I've been trying to be super helpful with people who have asked me questions yesterday, getting back to you as quickly as possibly can. But these are some of, oh goodness, I'm so sorry. These are some of my favorite things. So I love Moose Tube on Go Noodle. If you click here, it'll actually bring you to my favorite Go Noodle. If you didn't know, I love strawberry refreshers. Yum. You could click there and go find out more. But those are some of my favorite snacks. My favorite math app is GG. We call it GG, but ST Math. You can click there to find out more. And then Reading Eggs app. You can click there and find out more too. But this is the welcome screen that I'm going to use to introduce the teacher to my students as well. So they're going to see my real life photo. And then I also want to introduce them to my Bitmoji photo too. So I have them both in there. And then every day I tell my students that we are going to have fun. So let's have some fun and get started. All right, so there are a lot of different things that you can do with virtual classrooms, and here's just some of the options that I've found. These are options that teachers have made, and I've literally just taken a picture of them and put them on the slides, and I'll tell you at the very end of the presentation where you could find lots of awesome resources that other teachers have made and are putting out there for free, which is amazing, teacher power, that other people can use and adapt for their own classroom. So if you get to my presentation, if you click on any of these, it'll actually bring you straight to the link. I've linked them for you. Otherwise, we're just going to scroll through them. So here's daily clickables. So I thought this was a great idea for kind of like a home screen where kids can click on their Monday, their Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday options, and then it will bring them to their next screen on what they're doing for each of those days, or the links that they're going to need, or the assignments that they're going to need for those specific days. So I thought that was kind of cool and interesting to do with a virtual classroom. Another one for those teachers who teach multiple grade levels or maybe even multiple periods. There's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So this teacher was able to do kind of both 6th, 7th, and 8th grade that the kids are able to click on. So it's kind of her home screen that will bring them to their individual classrooms and things like that for their materials. So I thought that was interesting for those middle school upper grades. Here, this is the one I call a one-stop shop. So she literally has all of the website links that her students are going to need. So if you take a look over here, literally all the stuff on the bookshelf, and then over here on another shelf, so you can make those links clickable and the kids can literally be taken straight to where they need to go. So if they want to go to Google Classrooms, you can link it straight to your Google Classroom. So I thought this was a one-stop shop that was perfect for all the links that you'll need to share with your students. Here's another one for just brain breaks and recess. So I know that our kids are going to have so that lunch recess opportunity. But even if you want to have like a 10-minute or a 15-minute bathroom break while the rest of the kids are off getting their water or a snack or a bathroom, you can have some of them stand up and do some fun recess things. So here's a bunch of different clips and options that you can create. That way kids can go off on their own and do that, or you have kind of a ready set where you can click right there to get going. Here's another one with rooms with your shareable links. So this is an art teacher. And so she has lunch doodles with Mo Willems, who's an author. He's fabulous, but he literally sits down and teaches kids how to create some of his artwork that he uses in his books. So she has all of the different episodes from Mo Willems right there, and you can click on them and go straight to the links. Over here, she has a bunch of YouTube videos that will actually teach the students how to make all of these pictures. So they can click on each of the pictures and learn how to use or to draw any of those. So I thought that was an interesting way to use a Bitmoji classroom. This teacher actually decided instead of a classroom, she could make a bulletin board. So if maybe a classroom is too overwhelming for you, making just a bulletin board where she has her important dates or her bell schedule or anything like that was pretty awesome. I thought that was a really genius way of kind of having that home screen where kids can click and go off to where they needed to go. Here's an awesome one with math manipulatives. We know that students learn better when they have things to help them create what they kind of see in their minds. So this is a virtual way of doing this. So she has it where you can actually click on each of the math manipulatives and it'll bring you to an online resource with that. So if they click on the dice, well, it'll bring you to a virtual math manipulatives where you can choose how many dice you have. You can roll them. You can do all sorts of fun things. If you need shapes or tanagrams, they have that there. And even an online calculator. So I thought this was a really neat addition to a virtual classroom. Very helpful, especially if those kids don't have the hands-on right here, but they can still use it virtually. So this one's an interesting one. I thought it would be fun to have like a reading corner. So she has it where if you click on any of the books, it will actually bring you to a link of someone reading them aloud. So I thought this would be a great way to have students read by themselves, especially beginning kindergartners. It'd be great to have them kind of read and listen along with their favorite stories. You can even have themed book rooms. So if you want to have all the Mo Willems author books or all of the No David or any of those kind of things, you can create a whole room based on themes. If you want to have empathy, there's a lot of different themed reading rooms already created, and I'll share with those details at the end. But people have already created things that you can literally just copy for free because teachers are amazing, and that way you have some really awesome resources. So a reading corner is a great addition to your virtual classroom. This teacher did something super fun. So her students are actually going to see her background is her real classroom. So she went in and set up her real classroom how she wanted for her virtual, took a picture, and then added it to her background of her classroom. And then here's her cute little Bitmoji. So now her students are going to feel more comfortable when we come back into our class because they've seen our class all the time. So I think that was a really cool, innovative way of doing a virtual classroom. Another thing that I thought was super awesome is adding videos. So we always can, click a link and take us to a YouTube channel, but there's an awesome way in Google Slides to actually add videos straight onto your Bitmoji classrooms. So I'm going to share with you how to do that too, but students would actually just click play right on your classroom and get started. So that's pretty awesome. So there are a lot of virtual classroom options, and I am going to go through these kind of quickly, but no worries. There are step-by-step directions on how to do all of this with pictures, because I'm a kindergarten teacher and we do pictures on my website. So you will have access to all of this. I apologize for going super fast, but we only have an hour and I have so much to share with you. All right, so if you click on any one of these, in my presentation, it'll bring you straight to that slide. That way you don't have to go through any of the additional information. If you already know how to do certain things, you could just go to the new ones that you want to learn how to do. But we're going to just start from the beginning and go through. So the first thing that you're going to do in order to create your virtual Bitmoji classroom is actually just open a Google slide. You're going to open a blank Google slide. I love to use the widescreen version, so the default Google slide, and that gives you plenty of space to kind of manipulate your screen and all the different things that you want to add to your classroom. So the page setup, when you make your original virtual classroom, is perfect. So I just open up a new tab, and then the first thing that you're going to want to do is change the background, because a blank white screen in the back is not super exciting. So we are actually going to teach you how. So the first thing you're going to want to do is up here, you're going to touch the background button up at the top, and then you're going to choose image. So there is another option. You can just choose a regular color and just leave it as a flat color. But if you want to make it look more like a real classroom, I would choose an image. And then you're going to choose your image, which is pretty awesome. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and search wall floor, and that will give you the wall and the floor. And I do background just so you know it's a background. Make sure that you are on Google image search just so that all of the options come up. Once you select yours, so I found this really cute one, you're going to go ahead and click insert. Then voila, magically we have an awesome background. So right now it looks pretty cool, but it doesn't really look like a classroom. So we're going to continue. If you Google background and you can't find one that you like, I'm going to show you in just a second how to do that on the real live Google, not just in Google Slides, but I'll show you that in just a second. So after you put your background on, you want to make sure that you add furniture. So you're going to insert image, goes pretty quick, and we're actually going to search from the web for this one. So a screen up on the side will pop up. The important part when you're searching for furniture is this word transparent. All right, so this word transparent is really important because then it won't have this weird background around it. But I looked at my search from the web inside my Google Slides, and to be honest, I didn't like any of the smartboard options. They all just kind of sucked. So what I did instead was opened up a new tab, and you can do this for backgrounds as well. So if you can't find one within the Google Slides, you can always open up a new tab. Then you're going to Google whatever you're looking for. Again, with the word transparent, this will make adding things much faster, much simpler. But of course, I have to be difficult, and the Google image that I chose has a background, that weird checkered thing, and if I put that in my classroom, it's just going to look odd. But I do have a pretty easy way of solving that problem. So if you have an image that has this weird background and you want to get rid of it, first you need to download the image. So all you have to do is right click it and then say download. I usually just download it straight to my desktop. That way it's easier to find and I just drag it where I need to. But once I download it, I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab and go to the remove.bg. This is by far the easiest way to remove a background. So what you're going to want to do is press the upload image button, and you'll notice that my download from earlier is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this and drag it into the upload image option. And then once that happens, it's literally this simple. I don't have to press a button or anything. It just magically fixes it. So now I have this wonderful image that has no background, so the checkered went away, but then it does have me re-download it. But the awesome part about that is I just re-download it in the same name as the other one. That way it gets rid of the one with the background, and it gives me the new one that doesn't have the background. So that way I don't get confused and put the wrong one in and get whatever. Anyways, so that's the easy way to do it. So then all I'll have to do is drag it from my desktop onto my Google slide, and there it is. It's beautiful. The awesome part about adding images in your Google slide is it's super easy to just touch it and manipulate it. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can move it around the screen. You could do kind of whatever you want with it, which is super, super easy. So once you add the big things first, so I would start with the big things. So I have my smart board, I would add my carpet, but you would do the exact same thing for every decoration that you're going to add. Remember to Google that transparent word. So I'm going to add, I did my cute little tassels on my carpet, added a bookcase. And again, the bookcase, I Googled bookcase transparent, and that way, that's why you can still see the tree behind it. I have my desk, a chair, I even have my laptop, because come on, we're all e-learning. I have my easel, I even have an alphabet up at the top. I teach kindergarten, it's important. So if you want to add videos, so this part is, again, super duper easy. So this time we're going to insert again, but instead of image, we're actually going to insert video. Then a screen like this will pop up. Super easy. You can go ahead and search for whatever you're looking for. I wanted a Go Noodle Moose. It's called like Moose TV. And Moose Cha-Cha is one of my favorite Go Noodles, and it actually conveniently is the first one that pops up. However, if you are looking for something and you search it and it doesn't pop up automatically, you can scroll through and try and find it, or open up a new tab, go to your YouTube, find exactly what you want, copy the link, and then post it in here. That way the video, the exact video that you want, will pop up, and you'll be able to select it, and then make sure you hit the select button down here. Then it will magically appear. Again, the awesome part about it is you can make it big, you can make it small, you can adjust it and move it around your screen. You can literally place it wherever you like, which is pretty awesome. And the kids can touch it and play their video straight from here. Now I have my volume on really low, so you can't really hear it, but you could turn the volume up, obviously, and the kids can hear it straight from there. If you're on a video and you only want a portion of that video to be shown, so say it was like an hour clip and you only want like 5 minutes of it, if you do video format options, this will pop up on the side. And if you look right here, you can actually decide what minute and second you want the video to start and what minute and second you want the video to end. So this video is really short. It's only 2 minutes and 9 seconds. So I'm going to start at the beginning and end it at the end. But you could start it at, a minute 5 and then end it at 2 minutes. So they're only watching, a little bit of it. The other really awesome part about it is that you can have autoplay when presenting. So I think this would be really good for those like pre-K and K babies who, when they click onto the new slide, this will automatically start the video. So it won't have to wait for them to prompt to play it. It will just automatically play it. So I thought that was really fun. And then another option is you can also mute the audio. So say you want to put up a video and you want your students to do a creative writing assignment, and you have a video up there and they're literally just either dictating what is happening, if you want to do a how-to video, or creative storytelling based on whatever they're viewing. That might be a good option too, to use that mute audio. I was just thinking. All right, so let's move on. All right, so now I'm going to teach you how to add links. So if you look at this Go Noodle one, my arrow changes then to a hand, which means I already have a link attached to it. So if you look in the very bottom left corner, you'll see that it says gonoodle.com. So that means that if a student clicks on this link right here, it will actually bring them straight to the Go Noodle website, so they can explore that. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it on my little Iggy friend right here. So the first thing you're going to do is click on him. Then you're going to press Control K if you're on a Windows PC, or Command K if you're on a Mac. Then this link box is going to come up. You're going to see this often in my presentation. So this Control K or Command K we use very often. So this link box, this time we're actually going to link it to a website. So this time I wrote readingeggs.com, and then we're going to hit apply. This is the part that I forget sometimes. If you don't hit apply, it will not work. So if you put readingeggs.com in and then you click on something over here, your link will not link. And so please make sure that you hit apply. The awesome part about linking to a website is like this dream box over here. I know that every school and every classroom has their own distinct web link that will take the students straight to your sign-in page, so they don't have to kind of toggle through all of the steps. They can get kind of that direct link. So that's what's really awesome, is you can put that direct link right onto it. So when they click onto it, it'll bring them straight to your class website or your teacher website. So that's really cool about having something like this. All right, so now if I kind of hover over my little Eggy friend, you'll see then down on the bottom left corner, again, it'll say readingeggs.com, which means my link worked. And so when my students click on the little Eggy guy, it will bring them to readingeggs.com, and my kids can log in and do all of those wonderful things on that website. All right, adding your Bitmoji. So Bitmoji are a way to make your actual classroom personal to you and your students. So the easy way, if you have Bitmoji on your phone, you actually just connect yours. So I use the Chrome web store. So you have to be on Google Chrome in order to do this. I'll be honest, I just Googled Bitmoji extension, and then make sure you see the Bitmoji icon. It looks like this. So you're going to hit add to Chrome. You'll be able to see it in your email and be able to use it when you send emails to things. Thank you, LaConti. So that's the fun part. When you have your Bitmoji, it'll tell you your Bitmoji has been added to your Chrome, which is great. And then this little icon will pop up in the right-hand corner of your web browser. When you click on that web browser, it's okay. When you click on that web browser, a screen like this will pop up. If you're already logged in, it'll pop up. If you're not logged in yet to Bitmoji, it'll prompt you to the website to log in. If you've never made a Bitmoji before, it'll prompt you to start your own. So you'll just log in and create your own cool Bitmoji, being able to use it however you'd like, which is really awesome. And kind of make it look as much like you as you can. But then once you do have your Bitmoji, you can go ahead and search your Bitmoji right here. If you want a Bitmoji that has an elephant on it, or that has an umbrella, anything you want, you can search for it. Most of the time it'll have a Bitmoji option with that. Sometimes it doesn't. anyways. So here's your Bitmojis. All you're gonna do is select it. You'll right click and then copy. So that's the only like down part to Bitmoji is you can't just kind of drag it to where you need to be. You need to copy it. And then when you go to your virtual classroom, then you're going to paste it in there. So here's my cute Bitmoji. Just a pro tip. If you're looking for a Bitmoji that's standing up, you cannot just search standing, even though that would be the easy way. You have to search for pose. I don't know why. When you search for sitting, it shows you sitting ones. But anyways, if you want a standing Bitmoji, you need to search the Bitmojis for pose, and it'll bring up lots of options. One of the options is the cool pointing emoji. I love this one. However, if I put it in my classroom and I want it to point at the easel, I'm going to have to flip it. So what you need to do is right click on it. Then you're going to do rotate and then flip horizontally. And once you flip it, boom, now it's pointing at the easel where you want it to go. So that's just another little extra thing. The other part about Bitmojis is you can make it as big or as little as you want. You can manipulate it just like you can any other object in your classroom. So that's really cool. All right. I, for a very, very long time, did not like Google Slides, did not like Google Docs, mainly because I'm the kind of teacher that has all these fun fonts and all this really exciting things. And to be honest, Google Docs and Slides did not have good font options, but there is a nice, fun, easy way to add those. So up on the top, it's going to say like file and insert and all those good deals. One of the options is add-ons. So you're actually going to click that, and then you're going to click get add-ons. And then this awesome marketplace will pop up, and I just searched Extensis fonts. Then when that pops up, you're going to have the option to download kind of the extension if you want it slides or for Google Docs. So you get to choose. I only did Google Slides only because I use it on slides more often. For docs, I'm just usually doing lesson plans and I don't really care what kind of font it is. So, but if you do download it for slides, know that it will not work on docs. You will need to download it for both or add it on for both. All right, so once you add it on and you want to use your extensive fonts, you're going to add on, you're going to click this add on again. And then right here, all of a sudden now it works, this extensive fonts. So once you select that, a screen will pop up all the way on the other side, and you'll have all of these options, and there's literally so many. It will take you a while to scroll through all of them and find out kind of which ones you like the best. But I loved that they had lots of more options and some really good ones that you can use in your classroom, your virtual classroom. All right, so after I added all these different fonts, I added a text box and put it right on my dry erase or my smartboard. I use my smartboard every day with my students to show my objectives. So I write them a letter about what we're doing today. So our morning meetings, even virtually, I do this as well. So together we'll read, we'll find out what we're doing that day. And I also put some math on my easel, and that's an easy text box as well. And of course, you can go ahead and change the beautiful font. Okay, change the font to all the different things you want to change it to. There's even these awesome handwriting ones if you're really into script writing. Of course, if you're in the older grades, if I show that to my students, they would think I was gibberish. Anyways, so there's some really good options on adding those fonts. So if you want to add a Google assignment, so I did this at the end of last year when I introduced my virtual classrooms to my students as well. When they clicked on me, they would get their reading assignment for the day. When they clicked on the math emoji, they would get their math assignment for the day. So in order to do that, we're going to click on first you need to make the assignment. So you're in a different Google Doc, you're in a different Google slide, creating whatever assignment that you want the students to do. After you create that, then you're going to click this share button that's up on the top right of every Google slide or Google Doc. Once you get that, it's going to come up and you want to make sure that it says change to anyone with the link. Make sure that is changed. I didn't do that for a few of them and got massive amounts of emails asking access to the document. So make sure that anyone with the link can access that Google slide or Google Doc that you want to assign. And then you're going to copy the link. Then we're going to go back to our Bitmoji classroom and we're going to click on the icon, whatever you want to make it so that they click on. So we're going to click on that guy and we're going to do that Control K, Command K again. Same thing. That link box is going to pop up, but instead of writing a website like we did last time, we're actually going to use this link from our previous docs assignment. All right, so we're going to click and add that in. So this one with the equals sharing, that's going to give them access to the original document you created. Well, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure they have a copy of it. So instead of sharing, you're going to delete this last part of it, sharing, and you're going to write the word copy. It's that easy. So anytime then they click on the math, oh, I almost forgot, hit apply. And then make sure when you hover over your math, it'll show you the preview of the document that you're linking it to. Okay, make sure you hit apply. All right, again, if you want a copy of it instead of sharing, please make sure that that says copy instead of share, and you are good to go. So then anytime the kids click on their math emoji, it will copy their assignment for them. All right, so here is my very primitive Google or Bitmoji classroom from the end of the year last year when I was just kind of toying around with things. So I literally just Googled classroom background and this kind of fuzzy thing came up and it had a board, which I really liked. It had an easel, which I really liked. It had a calendar because we were doing countdowns, which I really liked. And then I added all of these little guys with their links in it too. Again, if you hover over me and my mustache, it will bring you to the reading assignment that I gave. If you hover over the math guy, it'll bring you to the math assignment. If you hover over the M, it'll bring you to a YouTube video where there was an M&M experiment that my kids were able to do. Here's my read aloud. And if you click on that, it'll bring you to the YouTube video of someone reading that as well. We did, we hatched baby chickens virtually. So there was 4 more days until our baby chickens hatched. You can click on Gigi or Reading Eggs Guy or Dreambox Guy, any of those, and I'll bring you to the links. So this was kind of a one-stop shop. I did use this as my morning meeting every morning. We found out what we were doing for the day, and then this kind of was a click, an all for one click. So anytime they needed any of them, they can click right from this screen. And I posted this screen, that classroom every day, my Google room, just on the stream board, the kind of like Facebooking thing, that the home screen deal in your Google Classroom. So in order to do that, there's 2 kind of easy, there's lots of ways, but I'm going to show you 2 really easy ways to do it. So when you're in your Bitmoji Classroom, you're going to press the file button and then download, and you're just going to download it as a PDF. The awesome thing about this is that when you download it as a PDF, the kids can't move any of the objects that you made. They can only click. So when I showed them my Google slide, my students could move the objects if they wanted, but when you download it as a PDF, they won't be able to move the objects, but all of the links in there will still work. So that's a really awesome way to do it. Easy. The little bit trickier one, but far more useful one in my opinion, is file. And this time, instead of download, we're going to go all the way to the bottom and do the publish to the web. A screen like this is going to pop up and it's going to ask you publish. And you're going to say, yeah, publish. And then it's going to say, are you sure? Of course, you're sure. And then you're going to copy this publishing link here, and you'll be able to post that link for parents and students. And once they click the link, it'll bring you to your virtual classroom. So this is here. The awesome part about that then, because it's published to the internet, it means that if you make any changes in your Google Slide classroom, it will automatically update this online published link. So you won't have to go republish, re-download, repost, any of those things. You literally can just make changes on your Google Slides, and then it will automatically update onto your website. Pretty awesome. I think this is far easier. I don't know about you, but I feel like I change my mind a lot. And then I can post my stories, and sometimes I find something really cool and then I just want to add it last minute. And so adding all those things won't affect the link. It'll automatically upload to it. So there's that. All right, so then here are a lot more ideas that I found for Bitmojis. They're an awesome way to personalize all of your learning and a good way to kind of interact with students virtually. So I'm going to go through each one of these individually, but when you see my presentation on my website, you can just click any of these and it'll bring you straight to that, so you can see it right away instead of having to click through everything. Anyways, so here's a Google Classroom banner. So when you log in to your classroom, up on the top of your classroom is kind of that ho-hum class banner. And in order to make it a little bit more personalized, I created one. So I did the exact same thing as I would have for a virtual classroom, but instead I changed my page setup in my Google Slide and made it a custom, and then made it the 16.67 inches by 4.17 inches. That makes the screen the exact size and dimensions as what you'll need for your Google banner. That way you don't have any extra space that you fill in and then all of a sudden it gets cut off. So this makes it super convenient. It gives you the right parameters when you are decorating your banner. You can make your banner say whatever you want. Mine obviously says welcome to kindergarten. I used my real picture and I used my Bitmoji picture just so my students can get to know both of those things. Then you're going to hit apply. That's like a theme with me. In order to load it onto your Google Classroom, you're going to press File and then Download, and you can download as a JPEG, which means just a picture, and that way when you upload it, it'll be super simple. I'll be honest, I have a Mac, so I just took a screenshot of it, and it was super easy that way too. So either a JPEG or a screenshot. So once you have it downloaded, then you're going to go to your Google Classroom. And so this was my like ho-hum classroom banner up at the top of your classroom. You're going to click that upload photo button so you can upload your new photo. Go ahead to your uploads. I just drag and dropped mine from my from my desktop, but you can select photo and find that JPEG that you saved. Go ahead and select your class theme. So this is what mine looked like, and you'll notice that over here it's kind of hard to see because of the extra white that is right there. So I actually just went right back to my Google Slide and recalculated it, and fixed it up so that now you can see the whole thing. So I just kind of like adjusted my polka dots to make it work for me. And then uploaded this straight to my Google header. And voila, it's all fixed. So here is another thing that you can do is actually make a class app. So my classroom, I always make this flip book for parents. So if they know breakfast or what supply they'll need or anything about field trips, they can just flip right to it. And I thought that was super easy. And so I decided to attempt to make a class app. And you might be thinking it's really difficult, and it actually isn't. It's super simple. And the awesome part about it is it actually sits right there in their home screen. You can go ahead and touch it, and then it'll pop up. And then the awesome part about that is they literally can just touch, and it'll pop to all of the different things. They can go back home. They can learn about the teacher. They can do important links, all those fun things, whatever you decide to put on there. And it's super simple on how to do it. And it's right on my presentation. I also have a blog post about it that does step by step. But we're going to go quickly through it just so you have some experience with it. But in order to make the class app, you're going to open that Google slide again. This time, instead of doing it horizontally, I did it like you would see it on a phone. So I did it up and down version. And I created, there we go. And I created my home page first. So the slide one, I decided what I wanted to do, what it should look like. And then I literally just copied and pasted it 6 more times. And then deleted that top portion. So I deleted this handbook portion off the top and then just made it all orange instead. And that was one flip. And then I flipped it again and made it all yellow to make 2 flips, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So it was super easy to make that flip chart. And then I basically took some of the information that I would have given in here. Obviously, I don't need to go over field trips and things like that. But I did obviously add some important links, and those they can actually touch the GG right from their app, and it'll bring them to the website. So I did some of those links as well. Same thing that you would do like in your virtual classroom. All right, so in order to link it from page to page, this would be the tricky part of it. So what you would do then is do a shape. So you need to make a box or a shape over your link, whatever you want them to touch to be able to go to the next part of your site. Then you can click shapes. I'm going to use a rectangle because obviously the about the teacher is in a rectangle. But if you choose to use buttons like circles or stars or whatever, you can do that as well. So I made a box and I put it right on top. Obviously, you can no longer see the about the teacher, so we need to change that. We need to fix it. So the next thing you're going to do is make that box transparent. So you're going to go to the outline, pick transparent, the fill, pick transparent. And now it goes from a box that's kind of grayish to magically transparent. So now it's transparent. All right, so that is awesome because now when the students go to click on it, they won't be able to click the text and move the text around. They will only be able to click the link so that it links to the next page. That's why we do that special box. It's kind of like lamination, right? You don't want them to mess it up, so you laminate it. All right, so after you make it transparent, then you're going to link your pages together. So remember that Control K or Command K that we've been using in the past, but this time we're actually going to link it to another page in your slide deck. So what you're going to do is click that imaginary box, that transparent box that we just made, You're going to press the Control K or Command K like we've done in the past. This time your link box will pop up, but this time instead of writing a web address in there or a Google Doc link in there, you're going to go ahead and press the slides in this presentation. So if we remember back to the beginning when I showed you all of my slides, about your teacher was actually slide number 2. So I would click slides in this presentation. It would give me a drop-down menu. I would scroll through and find slide number 2. It didn't work when I did my screenshot. I apologize. But you would pick the slide that you would need and go on from there. Then you would continue to link all of your pages. Make sure you make a box, a transparent box over each portion that you want them to touch and link to, and then press that Control K and link it to this correct slide. Okay, now is the important part. You want to hide all of your slides except for your homepage slide. And the reason why you do that is otherwise, it's just like a regular presentation where they can click anywhere on the screen and it'll just bring them to the next slide. We don't necessarily want to go just to the next slide. We want to go to whatever slide we touched, right? So that means we're going to have to hide them. So you're on the left side of your screen, all of your slides are going to be there. You're actually going to right click on every slide, except for your home page. We don't need that to be hidden. We want them to see that one first. And then you're going to want to right click on every slide except for your home page, and then click skip slide. And then a screen like this will pop up over it with that eye and the cross out. There we go. It'll give the eye with the cross out from it, and that means when they touch their app, it won't necessarily bring them to the next slide. It'll bring them to whatever slide they clicked on. So that's super duper important. So make sure you hide all of the slides except for that home page, because you want the home page be the first thing that parents and students see. After you do that, then you're going to publish it to the web. So same thing like we did before with our virtual classroom. We're going to file, then click all the way down here. Now it's hiding. Publish to the web. Then you're going to publish. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to publish? Yes, of course you want to publish. Then it's going to ask you to do this copy link again. And that's the link that you're going to send out to parents. You can either post it on Class Dojo in your Google Classrooms. You can email it out. You can text it out. You can do whatever you need to do to get that link into your parents' and students' hands. That way they are able to get your app. And then the next part that's really important is having them download the app so that it's on their home screen and they can easily find it. So if you want to demo my app, I gave you access to it. You'll just click right in here when you grab my presentation, and it'll show you what my app looks like on your home screen. But you're finally ready to share it, so you're going to go ahead and download the app. So we already talked about the sharing feature. You want to make sure that you have it so that anyone with the link is able to share it or, able to see it. So you don't have a million requests laying around. Also copy the link that way, or you can copy it in the publishing app, whatever you would like. So now we were ready to download to an iPhone. So I have an iPhone, so this is my cute little background. But in order to download it, you need to open Safari. You're going to put that link, that published link, right in Safari. And then click the share icon. Then you're going to add it to your home screen. You can name the app whatever you'd like. I just named it Demo Class App. And then make sure you hit add. And then, of course, it'll pop up on your home screen as your app. So they can touch it right from their home screen, which is really cool. So if you do the published one, anything that you change in your app will also change when they touch their link, which I thought was really cool. So you can keep it updated with all the different things you want to update when things change, if we go from virtual to hybrid, all that good stuff. Then if you have an Android, it's something really similar. This time you can open any browser. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Safari, obviously. And then you're going to add the link. This time you're going to press those 3 little dots up at the top. Also, add to home screen. You can change the name of your app, whatever you'd like to change it to. Click the add button, and then magically it's on your home screen so that you can see it. Well, your parents or students can see it. Voila. All right, so that's a class app. Another really super simple thing I very quickly did in literally 10 minutes was make a promo video. So I actually used iMovie, the trailer option, not the video option. So they have lots of different versions of it that you can select what kind of movie trailer you want to make. And then you literally just insert the pictures and then decide what kind of text you want. So I'm going to let you kind of watch this. Mine is 56 seconds long, but I created this trailer so that I could introduce myself and my Bitmoji to my students, kind of get them really excited and interested in coming back to school, and then give them some tips and pointers on how to wake up and get ready, brush your teeth, eat your food, find a quiet spot in your supply. The part that took the longest, to be completely honest, was finding the Bitmojis that I wanted. If you want to learn how to make this promo video, you can go ahead and click here in my presentation, or the link to it is on my website as well. And I literally walk you step by step on how to do it. But I thought it was a really fun way to introduce myself to my students, and super simple. Really didn't have to do much to make this work. So that was a really fun way of, using the iMovie app. And it'll bring you to my website and show you how. Okay. I pressed the wrong link. That's okay. All right. Let's go back. Okay. So another thing you can create is a class handbook. So you can make, again, it's just a Google slide, but this time instead of making it look like a classroom, I made it kind of with buttons, so it would bring them to another page similar to my class app. But this one has the teacher schedule, our learning activities, parent information, our weekly assignments if I want to have that. I can link it straight to my Google Classroom. I can do my email me, so parents can literally click this link and they'll bring them straight to their email so they can email me. And then our Bright Work, this was kind of like a virtual bulletin board. And I'll go over that in just a minute, but this is something similar kind of to the class app. And Get to Know You project that I thought was really fun. I've seen this go around the internet, so I tried one, was decorating your locker. So if you have littler students, you can kind of collect items that they might want to add to their locker. If you have older students, you might take this as an opportunity to teach them how to search for transparent items if you'd like, and be able to copy them and paste them on their locker. I thought this would be a great morning meeting activity as an introduction, kind of a virtual locker share. So I thought that was fun. We're going to go straight into it. I have a lot to do. So more ideas with Bitmoji. So at the end of the school year last year, we discovered that we hadn't taken a staff picture. And so a fun way was to do Bitmoji pictures. So I had my staff members send me one of their Bitmojis, and then I put them on, this is literally just a Google image of our school. And then I put numbers right next to it. Look at me in my fly glasses. But I put numbers next to it and then created a Google form. And we put them up on our Class Dojo website, our school page. And so parents, families, and students could try and guess who each of the Bitmoji teachers were. And so we made it kind of a competition at the very end of the year, just to keep that engagement with students and families in there. So I thought that was a really fun thing to do, that you might want to do that as an introduction, or even like an open house online version of it. That would be fun. I did a flat Stanley project. I called them mini Miss Friedels. So I sent mini Miss Friedels. I literally just copied and pasted my Bitmoji on a Google Doc, and then printed them out, laminated them, and then sent them in the mail to my students. So I coordinated with their parents, but my students didn't know that this was happening. So that was really fun. And this little one was our first student to get our mini Miss Friedel, and we were logging off one of our online classes, and she hollered at me and then ran off the screen. And then like 30 seconds later, she comes busting back onto the screen holding her mini Miss Friedel, and look at that smile. She was really, really excited. So this was a really fun way for my students to interact with me, but at home. So here is one of my, and he baked with Mini Miss Friedel. Here's one of my little ones, and he was sharing his snack with Mini Miss Friedel. I even sent it to my niece, and she was doing science experiments with Aunt Katie. And then I also sent this Adventures with Mini Miss Friedel. This is available on my Teacher Pay Teachers website for free. I gave you mine as an example, and then I also did the same thing with blank spaces, so you can add your own Bitmojis, and then you can add your name as well. I thought that was really fun. It was a really good way to interact with families and get lots of really fun pictures and updates on what they're doing. You can do a birthday room. So obviously I don't have my students yet this year, but I did one from last year. So here's January, and they click on it, and here is Kaylee and Miss Friedel. Our birthdays are both in January. I was able to put our names. I put our birthdays on there too, so that our friends can help us celebrate when our birthdays are coming. If you are an administrator or a clerk or even a nurse or clinician, one of the things that I found was really cool is you don't only have to do a classroom. I found one of a staff room for resources. And so this would be a fun way to introduce, weekly updates to your teachers. That way, it's not just another boring email. But this is actually created by Jenny Cook. On my website, she made a YouTube video on how to do it, how to decorate and do all those wonderful things. So I did link that as well, so you can get her template and then all of the things to decorate it with. Backwards. There you go. And you can also do links and stuff to have them link to different websites that you want them to go to, just like you would do in a regular Bitmoji classroom. You can do a star student where they click and then have an introduction page, similar to the one that I had when it was my turn to be the teacher. All right, here's another one. I talked about the virtual bulletin board. So I have this up on a part of my site where my students can then click to see the awesome work. So here's Josiah, and he did his awesome work. And then I even gave him a praise for it too. That way he can share work with his friends. And I thought this would be a great addition to Class Dojo student portfolios, so that students can choose which photo they wanted to share with their friends. And I thought that would be a really fun way of students to take ownership over it, and then a really easy just copy and paste into their slide, and it automatically click there every time, which I thought that was really fun. I will say that a lot of the things that you saw on here came from other amazing teachers. So these are all Facebook pages that I am a part of, and a lot of these slides are up as resources on these Facebook pages for free. So teachers across the country and even internationally are really getting into this virtual classroom phenomena and really helping each other out. So if you are looking for a Hogwarts classroom, a Hogwarts inspired classroom, you can literally go onto one of these Facebook pages and search the page for Hogwarts templates and then copy it, because everyone has it on published links. You're able to copy it and then just kind of tweak it to make it look for yourself, or you can go ahead and do you and make a whole virtual classroom all by yourself. The awesome part about this is there is such a huge collection of resources that I now, don't have to make 26 different rooms for each of the letters of the alphabet when I introduce it, because someone's gone off and found additional videos and links to websites and activities that they've freely shared. So please, please, please check one of the Facebook pages for lots and lots of resources. I sure hope that I was helpful, and I'm super sorry about my microphone, and I got better at turning it on. Again, if you need or want my presentation, it's at kinderkid@heart.com. Click on the blog, go down to Googlepalooza. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that you have a wonderful school year. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or comment on my blog, and I will do my very, very best to try and help. Have a wonderful school year. Bye.